Good day, and welcome back to TMac FPV, your home for your journey to better FPV, fun flights and racing stuff. This is the third and final episode of our FPV Boot Camp, designed to help you get started with FPV the right way and make a well-informed decision as to what FPV gear is best for you so you can save both time and money and have more fun sooner. This is also the last video to enter the free enrollment giveaway to our Fast Track FPV course, which goes into much more detail on all the topics covered in our FPV Boot Camp, and provides you with everything you need to know to get started with FPV, to include a coupon code, which can be used 6 different times for big discounts on gear purchases, just like the gear we're going over today. To qualify for the giveaway for yourself or someone you know, check out the rules in the description below. Today we're going to do a quick general overview of the main gear you'll eventually need for your upcoming FPV adventures. I'm also going to give you my recommended options for the best value, future-proof find-to-fly quadcopter, transmitter, goggles, and simulator, and I'll provide links to each in the video description below. Now's a good time to hit that subscribe button, click on that notification bell next to it, and give the video a thumbs up if you're excited to start your journey to better FPV. Let's go! What I'm describing here today is, in my opinion, the best value beginner FPV drone kit. Now what I mean by best value is we want to maximize quality per unit cost and be as future-proof as possible. I made the mistake myself when I first started buying what's called a ready-to-fly or RTF drone kit, which included the quadcopter, transmitter, and goggles, all from the same manufacturer at what seemed to be a very reasonable price. What I quickly discovered is you get what you pay for, and there is not one manufacturer which makes all 3 best value components. And if you try to go the same route which I did, your initial FPV experience may not be so good. Now don't get me wrong, there is a market for this type of kit. The EMAX TINYHAWK RTF starter kit is one of these types of kits which you can get for around $165 US, and it may meet your needs. From my own experience, what I found out is after just a few short months, I was replacing both the transmitter and the goggles that came with the RTF kit which I purchased. That meant the money I spent for those in the kit, I could have spent more wisely by investing it in better quality, more future-proof components that provided me with a much more fun experience. So this is the background information I'll be using when presenting what I consider to be the best value beginner FPV drone kit option. First, you'll need a transmitter, or what's also called a radio controller. The transmitter, or TX for short, is the device you'll be holding in your hands and moving the control sticks on to control the movement of your quadcopter. It sends radio waves usually at the frequency of 2.4 GHz to the receiver on your quadcopter. I highly recommend getting a transmitter which runs on OpenTX firmware, which has a high degree of flexibility. There are a lot of advantages to it which I won't get into in this short video. When you get a transmitter with OpenTX firmware, you're essentially saying you're either purchasing a Jumper brand transmitter or a FRSKY or FRSKY brand transmitter. In my opinion, the best value future-proof transmitter on the market is the Jumper T16 Pro for around $160 US. It comes with an internal multi-protocol module which can bind or is compatible with almost any type quadcopter's receiver, and at the same time has an external module bay which later on you can use for a 900 MHz system that allows you to fly both farther and through and around objects better without losing your control signal. It also has Hall sensor gimbals, which are the most durable type in the market today. Another less expensive option, which has proven to be a good value transmitter for quite some time, is the FRSKY TARANIS QX7. It runs for about $105 US, does not come with a multi-protocol module, however it does come with an external module bay, and it does not have Hall sensor gimbals. Although you can swap out both original gimbals yourself for the Hall sensor gimbals you can purchase separately for about $20 each, or you can purchase the TARANIS QX7S, which does have the Hall sensor gimbals for around $185, although in my opinion, at that price point, the Jumper T16 is a better deal. The last option we'll explore is the X9 LITE, which comes with only the access protocol installed for $70, but it does have an external module bay for the XJT LITE module, which you can get for another $20, and it's designed for both the ACC ST D8 and D16 modes. Next, I recommend you get a good quality flight simulator. When looking at simulators, you want to get one that actually simulates the physics of flying realistically, so you can develop good muscle memory with your transmitter sticks. The one pictured here is Velocidrone. There are a few out there, and they are all relatively inexpensive, around $20 US. A few other simulators with good physics are Drone Racing League, or DRL, Liftoff, and also FPV Air 2. Although this last one is much more limited in its features. Why get a simulator next before a quadcopter? Because with a transmitter and a simulator, you can practice both line-of-sight flying and first-person view or FPV flying at any time, day or night, good weather or bad, and do so less expensively and also without damaging any equipment. You'll also use both your transmitter and simulator throughout your time in this FPV hobby, whereas the specific quadcopter you fly with will most likely change numerous times. Learning to fly and learning new maneuvers with a simulator will increase your flying skills more quickly than without, and is a form of accelerated learning, and is just plain fun. Next, you'll want to purchase the right quadcopter for you to start out with. I recommend starting with a bind and fly or B&F quad. Bind and fly or B&F simply means it comes with a receiver already installed on it. One thing to keep in mind is the transmitter and the receiver on the quadcopter need to speak the same language or protocol. In other words, they need to be compatible. I recommend getting the MOBULA 7 as the best value beginner quadcopter for a few reasons. It's small and can be flown in small spaces. It's proven to have good performance, it's widely available, and therefore you can get spare parts for it when needed, and it comes with spare props, batteries, and a charger for around $95 US. Another good option for a beginner FPV quad is the EMAX TINYHAWK, which you can get for around the same price with one battery and a charger. Remember, if you get the Jumper T16 or the TARANIS QX7, I'd recommend getting the FRSKY version receiver on either of these quadcopters for compatibility. The fourth and last major component you'll need is some FPV goggles. Your goggles receive a video signal from the video transmitter or VTX on your quadcopter. The VTX on your quad transmits this video via a radio wave at the 5.8 GHz band to your goggles. The video is then shown on the display of your goggles while you're flying. FPV goggles is most likely going to end up being your most expensive purchase for this hobby. Remember, you don't need to get them right away, especially if you're just starting out. You can learn to fly and practice with just the transmitter and the simulator first. The goggles pictured here are the AOMWAY Commander V1s, which are one of the best value FPV goggles options I'd recommend. I've owned mine for about 2 years now, and I haven't had any issues with them. You can get them for around $200 US. Another great value option for this compact style type of goggles is the SKYZONE Sky O2C, which you can get for around $260. If both of those are a little pricey, you can get box style goggles like the Eachine EV800Ds for around $100, and with these you can still use them as spectator goggles later when you want to upgrade to a more compact style goggle. They also have a removable FPV display, which you can also use on your workbench in the future. Finally, you'll need to become familiar with some software program applications, 4 of which are depicted here. We go over their use in detail on our Fast Track FPV course, as well as the initial setup of both your OpenTX transmitter and your quadcopter. Betaflight is used to program your quadcopter, BL Heli is used for your electronic speed controller or ESC for your quad's motors, OpenTX Companion helps you with your transmitter's firmware, and the Impulse RC Driver Fixer works like magic for your quad's connection to your computer. Remember, even though you may not want to get all of your components from the same manufacturer, you can still get more than one, if not all of them, from the same hobby shop. So they can still come in the same box, and you can save on shipping that way as well. I've got links in the video description below, which may help you out. Let me know in the comments if my rationale behind this Best Beginner FPV drone kit makes sense to you, and if you have any other thoughts or questions about it. If you're interested in the free enrollment giveaway to our Fast Track FPV course, check out the rules down below. For further information on the course, you can check it out on a page at my site, tmacfpv.com. No matter what gear you choose to purchase, I sincerely hope you've enjoyed this FPV Boot Camp mini-series, and wish you the best in all of your FPV adventures. Thank you for your time. Clear skies, friend.